My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I awoken on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate the planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then? No! Better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be flying anywhere anytime soon, so I guess we better explore the area for food or something like that. What's that thing over right there? Oh, it sprouted a flower. And it grew legs too. Oh god, please don't eat me. Huh. It sprouted a tiny little seed. A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up, as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion too. Well then, I guess we'll, I suppose, wait for nature to take its course. And now, it has sprouted. The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. This sprout emits a strange light, and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A. Alright, Olimar, if you say so, let's do it. Extraordinary! When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pit brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. And all of this is basically the controls. I am playing the Switch version of this game, but if you're playing the GameCube port, the Wii port, or any other port that comes out in the future that's not the Switch port, these are the controls for the Switch. Alright, so let's get to it. First thing you're going to need to do is throw this Pikmin not above the flower, but at the flower. That way it will come down immediately, and it will bring this little thing back to the base. Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet that Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more. So, these onions are kinda gonna act more like our base for these Pikmin. You can stand under the bright light and it'll call Pikmin out of it. However, that's not gonna really matter on this day because, well, long story short, you don't want Pikmin inside the onion right now. You really don't want that. A lot of that stuff is mostly gonna matter on day 2. The game doesn't really start. Not quite yet. Day 2 is where things are gonna start picking up. But for now, this is the day you mostly want to get as many Pikmin as possible. And trust me, you're gonna want to get as many as possible. Now up here, there's a little pellet. It can be very easy to miss, but thankfully, I made sure to get it. So everything's all good. There's a 5 pellet over there as well, which we're gonna need 5 Pikmin to carry it. Yes, big numbers. You gotta be able to do math in this game if you want to succeed. In all seriousness, as long as you have the required amount of Pikmin, in this case being 5, then you'll have enough to carry it back. If you go over that number, then this will actually go a little bit faster. But we Kinda won't be able to make it go faster, at least at this rate, because, well, we only have 5 Pikmin, and 4 of them are underground. But now that these seeds are here, we pluck them. And if you're wondering how I'm doing this a little bit quicker, that's because I'm holding down the A button. You see, when you're holding down the A button, and also you can see right here, it goes a little bit quicker, now that we have 9 Pikmin carrying that back instead of 5. Anyways, when you're going to pluck Pikmin, instead of manually tapping the A button, you want to hold down on the A button. It's a little bit quicker than just tapping the A button and having to manually move Olimar to each Pikmin, and it definitely is going to save you on time, which, trust me, time is very, very important in this game. Though, not in cutscenes like this, where we're moving the ultimate weapon, the ultimate thing that's going to stop us in our path. Cardboard. And we could have seen before that there's a little 10 over there, so we would have needed 10 Pikmin to push that down. But we had 14, so it's all good. We didn't need those frickin' 4 Pikmin. We didn't need them. We don't need any of y'all. We got this in the bag. And here they are explaining more of the controls. I'll explain some of the stuff when it comes to controls. But ultimately, if I could describe Pikmin in one way, controls are quite simple. Game itself, quite difficult to master. That's how I'll put it. And we're gonna see why that's the case a little bit later on. But anyways, amazing! There's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled on the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how do I get this back to the dolphin? Good question! And unfortunately, we don't have enough. We're gonna need 20 Pikmin to carry that back. So, what do we do in this scenario? Easy! We make more Pikmin. More, I say. More! And we had 3 1 pellets and a 5 pellet. This will give us 25 Pikmin. Yes, 25 in total. That is the most amount of Pikmin you can have on this single day. So that's quite good. Quite good indeed. Excuse me, Mr. Chow Guardian, sir. You said this game required math, but I know that a 1 pellet should only give you 1 Pikmin. So how come the 1 pellet give you 2 Pikmin? Trust me, there's actually a little bit of a reason to that, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And we're basically getting a tutorial that I already just kind of explained earlier on. Yeah! Great, Olimar. Listen, let me explain this stuff. Let me explain it. It's my job, but oh, we're actually getting something a little bit different. Okay, Olimar, never mind. You're back in my good graces, my guy. Here we go. So, what he's just explaining was that Pikmin have different stages in activity. No, it isn't anything weird. Get your minds out of the gutter. If anyone's thinking that, don't you dare think it. What he's explaining is that, as you can see, my Pikmin are a bright red. However, when we dismiss them, they become a much lighter shade of red. And when they're in the army, they have a much darker shade of red. So, what that means is that that Pikmin is not in your army. Or they're not carrying something back. But if they do have that hue, that means they're kind of just sitting around doing nothing and are basically considered a free Pikmin. What does a free Pikmin mean? No, it does not mean that they're fighting for their freedom against Olimar. No, nothing like that. They pretty much won't be really doing anything, and you have to whistle them to your army with your whistle. And that's not really gonna be a big deal, again, right now on day 1, but Trust me, on day 2, that'll be quite important. You don't really want Pikmin free, kind of doing absolutely nothing on their own. You really don't want that. But thankfully, now that these Pikmin got it back, our onion did a bit of a backflip right there. Or a front flip, I don't really know what you'd call it. And now we have our engine! And the ship kind of repairs itself. Do you really think this thing can fly? Well, I mean, we got an engine, so good enough. Oh, glorious! With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back towards home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. But what has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow. And here we are. We're going to be seeing this sequence quite a lot, so get used to it. But we'll see the Pikmin go right into their onion. And we will go into the ship. And hopefully this works. Yes, it does! Blast off into space. And it looks like the onion's coming with us as well. Interesting. 1 day since impact, I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will be helping me again tomorrow. The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Hokatate. Analysis shows the life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below, as it holds the keys to my survival. I'll name it the Forest of Hope. I'll explore it tomorrow. So, we have our stats screen. We have a total population of Pikmin that are ever been sprouted, Pikmin that have been lost in battle, and Pikmin that are left behind. What does being left behind mean? We will see that at some other point. I'll explain that tomorrow. Parts remaining are how many parts remaining, and the ship with the little 1 icon means we only have 1 ship part. So we've got 29 more to go. 29 more to go. That might take a while. Or so you might think. Anywho, I'll leave you all to this music, as tomorrow we will be going to the Forest of Hope. Ciao.